Thank goodness.
Yeah. Hey
Eh,
guys, thank you for having me. Great to be back.
Glad to have you today, bro. And the room is yours. So take it and run with it. Glad you're here and tell everybody who you are. Obviously, president of DeLorean Labs. So we're just blessed to have you here. And you rock and roll, bro.
As you mentioned, I'm Evan Kuhn, president of DeLorean Labs. Really excited to represent such an incredible brand. Been around for over 50 years at this point, and still surviving, has some of the most incredible IP, and everywhere from collectibles, movies, and of course the classic DMC car. And then very excited to be bringing such an iconic brand into Web3 and being one of the first really big traditional brands to jump into Web3 in such a big way. And we're not just dipping our toes in here. We are going deep. We've already come out with the DeLorean Time Capsule, the NFT collection on Sui. And then, of course, we have the long awaited DMC token coming out very soon. Just want to thank everyone for being patient with us. It's almost as if we had a time machine to dodge a lot of those big earthquakes and major events that have been rocking the market over the last couple of months and quite recently this week. But very, very soon, this token is going to be coming out. So very, very excited for that. And as I'm here, happy to talk with the community, hear from people in the spaces, answer questions, and keep this conversation going. So
Okay. So, yeah,
yeah.
Evan, you know, again, how did you get into DeLorean Labs? I know you said you're a marketing guy and car lover, where we talked about that last week. He posted some of his favorite cars. I told you I had a grandmama's Ford LTD, so you killed me on that. It is what it is. But yeah, how did you get in with the DeLorean Labs
Yeah, so
uh,
it really
project?
all started, with my background in the crypto brokerage exchange space. So, as you know, co-founder of a company called Coinberry in Canada, became Canada's first regulated crypto brokerage, then merged and had an exit to an exchange. Became one of Canada's biggest based exchanges. The company is called WonderFi, which has now been acquired by Robinhood. Around the time that I left the day-to-day operations of that business, was consulting for various crypto projects. DeLorean ended up becoming a client and loved the opportunity and the team and the vision and the chance to do something really, really special in the crypto space, really be trailblazers and come up with some leading edge technology. And everything from, if you checked out the marketplace at marketplace.delorean.com, such a new revolutionary way of selling vehicles where you get your deposit build slot as an NFT. So that way, any time up until the car coming out, you can sell that or buy a better spot in line. So just everything about this brand, and also just the opportunities afforded to DeLorean really made me excited to jump in and be part of this project.
And Evan, do you know some of the tech that's coming out on the car? I know they have some pretty cool features. I know there's a couple videos on YouTube, but is there more details on that tech? Because the videos I've seen, man, no other car has that kind of stuff on it.
Yep. So when it comes to the tech, we probably at this stage have a lot more ideas than what will actually make it in to the version one of the car. But there's not too much I can talk about at the moment. And that's also a bit more of a question for the motor company side on all the details, but very high level. We are looking to put crypto wallets in every vehicle. so that you'll be able to earn the DMC token for driving safely and for, you know, kind of even just if you're driving around in the vehicle in certain areas, you're essentially advertising the car, you know, why not earn token for that? And I think that's just the tip of the iceberg of what's going to be possible. Like, you know, eventually I'd love to see that you pull over and park the vehicle and then your wallet in your car starts paying for your parking without you having to even do anything. Or you're going through a drive-through and then that wallet can interface with that business and handle the transaction for you. And you know, you'd be able to earn points from those businesses, or once those businesses have their native tokens, that'll be able to interface with it. So, you know, really it's, you know, once we build this, and it's almost like creating the rails in a way for all these other businesses to then come on and, you know, come up with all sorts of cool things and ways to interact with the car in the crypto wallet there.
That's insane. Wow. I mean, it's come so far, and just, as expected when I heard you guys, DeLorean was going to come out with a car. I knew there's going to be some high tech stuff. And there you go. Excuse me, you brought it. It's also, for me personally, just to know that a president of a token that, from a real world company coming into crypto has experience in crypto. So you've probably been through a bull and a bear and all kind of ups and downs through yours.
Yep.
So I think it means a lot, I think, for us as investors to know that it's not only just a company coming into a blockchain without any experience in it, but being through the ups and downs and the craziness in it. I'm sure they've leaned on you a lot as far as from an advisement standpoint.
Yep. Yeah. This company is made up of people that really believe in this technology and really believe in where this industry is going, and the long term future of Web3. And I think just so important that you know, I get to work with these like minded people and really, yeah, continue the journey that I've been on for the last 8 years in this industry. And you know, we're kind of building the future that we all envision.
Yeah, and I think, I haven't bought a car from a dealership probably in at least 4 years. The last two cars that I own right now, I bought them both online without even looking at the car. And I think in the future, that's what it's going to come down to. Because then you're going to have all the maintenance logs and everything. So it's going to make it easier for car companies to be like, it has the miles I want, it's at the price I want, all the service records. And like you said, you can earn DMC. So as you're driving the car around, you're basically paying for its maintenance at least. Um, so I think
Yep.
that's,
And I think what's always cool is you'll always know the value of what someone's willing to pay for your car too, because you'll have almost a unique floor price on each vehicle, which is going to be so cool to see too.
So we're all excited about this. I mean, this is just a great opportunity. And look, the brand, gosh, for 50 years and 40 years since the movie, to have a brand like this, just, I mean, everybody in crypto and people who aren't in crypto, um, I feel like, there's a chance that you guys can maybe onboard people. I know on the marketplace, there's a way to actually create a wallet and add and pay with credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and those kind of things. So look forward to that. I don't know if you could share any information, obviously not numbers, but have you had anybody come in from the marketplace and create wallets and join crypto?
Yeah, quite a few people. Yeah, I find every time I'm out at a conference or an event, I have someone coming up to me and saying, DeLorean got me into Web3, and I'm new to this space because of you guys. And the technology that Sui has created has made it so easy to get in, especially, you know, if you're setting up a wallet in the Sui ecosystem, so much easier than how it used to be on other chains back in the day, and then interacting with the the dexes and everything else, claiming NFTs, so much easier to almost instant transactions, really low fees. So we really see Sui as the future of blockchains, and that's really why we've partnered and decided to build with them, and yeah, make it as easy as possible for that next cohort of users into the Web3 ecosystem.
Awesome. Yeah, that's, I think back, a couple of years ago, gosh, you had gas fees, $1,000, $500, and I haven't seen anything like that over here, and don't expect it. So that's just some of the advancements in technology that we're seeing on
Yeah.
Sui.
Yep. And at the time when the gas fees were that expensive, sometimes you couldn't even get transactions to go through. You would want to be able to pay those gas fees to get the but you'd just be stuck hitting refresh, and just be so frustrating.
No, I did that. You try to tweak the wallet to try to pay cheaper gas and be like, I don't need it that fast. So you tweak the wallet and then your transaction doesn't go through, but you lost like $50 just trying to do that.
Yep. Yep. Or if like, transaction is in some sort of suspended state and you don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to resolve.
Been through that. Yeah, do the Bitcoin buy, and you got to wait 30 minutes or an hour or what have you. And you're wondering, what in the world did my money disappear? So, yeah, I think we've all been through things like that. Um, as far as alpha, I mean, I hate to ask, I'm not going to put you on the line here today, but is there any alpha? And let me go back first too, back to the real world brand. You guys were in Las Vegas, obviously, and at Bitcoin Las Vegas, and the DMC was like, supposedly, I wasn't there, in the middle of the room. I mean, were people like flocking to it and taking pictures and all of that, just showing the brand once again steals the show, so to speak?
So yeah, that was at the consensus floor. And yeah, we had the DeLorean there right in the middle. And yeah, it was just so great to see everyone coming up, taking photos with the vehicle. And I think it also helped that we were giving away merch there as well. So each day of the conference, we had a kind of a select time throughout the day where we would give away merch, and it would go quick. We'd have lineups, and within about 10-15 minutes, it would all be snatched up. So yeah, great to see all that enthusiasm. And yeah, I think there was also I tweeted about this a few weeks ago. There was another booth there that actually created a vintage blockbuster. So it was called Blockchain Video, and they created membership cards that looked exactly like the Blockbuster membership. And then they had all sorts of, they had like Bitcoin to the future with the Back to the Future style video cases, and all sorts of retro movies in there. And it was just a really cool blast from the past. And having the DeLorean time machine out on the conference floor with that, I think it was almost the combination of the two made it feel very special. And I think you had another part of that question was on alpha. And so, yeah, one thing that we have mentioned with the token coming out, talked about airdrops in the past. I think there's, it's out there that we are doing airdrops. And we see airdrops as a very important way to grow the community. But we're looking to do it a little bit differently. In the past, I've received airdrops and just kind of ends up almost being like dust in various wallets, because you don't know what this means or what it does or how you can use it. So we're actually doing airdrops slightly differently. We're going to be gamifying this, and we're looking to do a huge spaces next week where we're going to go into detail about how our airdrop is going to work and how you can maximize what you get out of the airdrop as well. And we're planning on having one of the biggest spaces that the SUI ecosystem has ever seen, with a lot of special guests, and it's going to be one that you don't want to miss. So stay tuned for when we set the exact date and time for that. But I'm very excited to be taking part in it and sharing all the details of the airdrop then as well.
Awesome. That is Alpha. Huge space. And you said some other projects, and I'm sure some big people will come in instead of little old Coach George. But um, those type of things. And I'll probably, again, with it being so close to launch, and these airdrops have been a really huge thing in the SWE ecosystem for sure. So I'm sure you guys are really, really busy right now, getting ready for all of that stuff. I can't imagine the amount of preparation to get out airdrops and get everything ready for liquidity and everything. I'm gonna guess. I have no idea, but I mean, do you have any intention of being on exchanges, or are you more just going to be on the Sweet Chain, the decentralized platforms? And obviously, you don't have to answer that or what have you, but just thoughts pop into my head.
Yeah, no, I can say that the plan is to do both, and we want this token to be ubiquitous across Web3, and so we're speaking to a lot of the big players, and yeah, looking to do a rollout strategy that gets us far and wide and a lot of exposure.
Yeah, I don't want to spread any rumors, but since you have connections with Robinhood, I know they're building a bank account, which I'm kind of looking forward to because I hate having money in my bank. That's kind of why I like Robinhood because I know they're going to be launching their own bank, but it'd be really cool to be able to kind of go from, blockchain to liquid, or I guess they're both liquid, but I know you got some connections with Robinhood, so that'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Right,
Definitely going to be lots of on and off ramps that we're able to work with, and yeah, I think that's one of the powers of the DeLorean brand, that it brings a lot of people to the table.
right. And for me personally, look, I'm going slush route. I've been accumulating SWE as soon as I heard about your project, and brought me over, and obviously have found some amazing projects in the process of doing research. I've invested in some really nice projects and some NFTs and a lot of good things, and have had some pretty decent success as a trader and investor there. Uh, but yes, I'm really excited for this. I do hope, just because I'm a U.S. citizen, that we have U.S. exchanges available. Not asking you to say yes or no to that, of course, but a lot of times it seems like because of all the regulations and all, that the U.S. doesn't get some of these opportunities as far as on exchanges. But glad to see, things like the Clarity Act that came out this week, and, NFTs are not taxable. And just think back, I hate to call out Gary Gensler, but, not many people in crypto were big fans of his, I'll say. And so to see some of the new legislation, or at least proposed legislation, and crypto enthusiasts in the top levels, is real exciting for me personally as a long term investor to have a better chance for mass adoption here. Obviously, again, I'm talking personal thoughts. I don't want the governments and institutions to take over this thing. I want the people to be able to, go with Satoshi's vision, and have custody of your wallets and those type of things. I'm probably getting off the rails here, but just
No,
glad to
I
hear that
love,
you're working on
yeah,
that.
yeah, I love where your head is with all that, and we are definitely working on U.S. exchange integration for as close to day one as possible, or shortly after. We see obviously the U.S. is a very important market for us, and yeah, I think to that broader point that you're making, I think what's really going to help this ecosystem flourish is bringing utility and real utility to Web3 and the tokens. So one of the things we are very much focused on after token launch is real world utility, and how we have this token interact with the car, our marketplace. And one of the other things I'm really excited for is we look at a bunch of other car brands in out there. We see Porsche has Porsche design, really into some very cool merchandise there. Also, brands like Ferrari, they do a ton of merchandise. You see with their shoes and the partnership with Puma, and the F1 merchandise as well. So, I'm really into, as I said, the marketing and branding and all of that. So there's a bunch of collaborations that we are working on, and they will be exclusively available to DMC token holders. And there'll be, NFTs backing a lot of these products. There'll be collector's editions of things. So we're looking to really create a whole ecosystem of products and things that you can interact with the token. So that's one of the things I'm most excited for going forward. And I think by delivering all of these things, we'll start to see regulators and all the SEC and governments start to become a bit more comfortable with this space, and seeing that there are companies that are really building, and it's not just to extract value from communities, but to deliver a tool that these communities can use to be part of the ecosystem in a way that has never been done before.
That's what I'm excited about is the merch. I've been waiting for my hat, my shirt. I'm gonna be wearing that every day. Promoting the brand. And we got this little
I,
post in my neighborhood that everybody likes to hang out, and I'm definitely gonna be hanging out there with my DMC merch. It's a good conversation starter for sure.
oh yeah, I'm wearing the hat or shirt almost everywhere I go at this point, and I'll find myself at the grocery store and cashing out, and someone will be asking me like, "Oh, DeLorean, like haven't seen that in a while. Like, what's going on there?" And then I get to kind of go into the detail and tell them a whole story, and everyone gets so excited.
As far as merch, yeah, I mean, obviously that's something you guys are going to be offering. And I would say that your logo and all of that is copyrighted, so the knockoffs can't happen. Do you know where the merch is available now, or what the future is for that? Is it going to be on the marketplace or just everywhere? Um, I'm just asking questions again. I don't want to go too far off the rails, but my mind spins when I'm listening to you talk.
Yeah, so it's almost kind of like there's two segments of merch. I almost look at it as like we have the promo stuff that we use to really promote the brands, the token, what we're doing. A lot of that's given away for free at events, or in exchange, like sign up to our social media, get a time capsule, all that kind of stuff. And that's one segment of the merch that goes out there. And then we're really looking to do this very exclusive, higher end, some of it will be luxury goods, very limited edition merch that will be exclusively available online on our site. And a lot of that will be exclusively available to token holders. And we'll probably, be creating some sort of fair drop model. So, it becomes, everyone who is a token holder gets a fair chance to acquire the merch. And that's kind of really that segment is where I'm looking to put my heart and soul into creating something that is unique. A lot of these will be aiming to work with brands to design goods that aren't typically available by that brand, or a new design of one of their flagship products that's exclusive to the DeLorean community. We're talking things like wallets or luggage or watches or eyewear. So, really pieces that you'll be able to have and collect, and, own a piece of the brand in a new way. And all of this will carry a lot of that classic DeLorean design language. So really kind of building almost a fashion brand that is in the Web3 ecosystem alongside the vehicle and everything else we're doing.
I think that's important. Like when movies launch, movies, film industry, they don't make money off the movie. They make money off the business, which is making merch, costumes, and obviously that's why Back to the Future has been so successful with Michael J. Fox, because all the charity work they do and the brand that they have, you can still go on their website and buy Back to the Future merchandise.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just making sure that we do all that with a lot of care, make sure we don't dilute the brand and the messaging, and yeah, keep the integrity to what we're doing.
I saw something the other day too. Scooter, I think it was on one of the DeLorean tweets. So, I mean, as long as it doesn't go 88 miles per hour, I'm a little bit old. I don't want to be busting my tail on an 88 mile an hour scooter, but that would be cool to cruise around with the DeLorean scooter. I'm sure, like you said, you're in the store and people come up and say, "Oh, DeLorean." Yeah, I mean, everybody
Yes.
knows DeLorean. So if you don't, I'm not a big movie watcher, honestly. That I'm ODD and it takes too much time. I'm on Spaces and stuff like that or Twitter, but that scooter looked like a pretty good thing. And like you said, having a wide arrangement, not overdoing it with merchandise. I know, like doing research, guys like Ferrari or what have you, they probably do. I don't know what percent, but probably, I would guess, probably close to 50% or more of revenue from merch. I'd be
Yeah.
surprised if it was.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close on that number, actually. Especially, yeah, because their car is so limited edition. They don't produce a lot, and yeah, it really gives a chance for everyone to participate in the brand and be part of it.
So I did have a
And
question, like,
go ahead.
oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry. So like in the future, not now, I know you're busy with all this stuff, but like the old DMCs in 1980, uh, are they going to be, probably, since there are not that many of them, is there any chance you can probably bring those on the blockchain as well? Maybe not have all the tech in it, but at least list them on the marketplace. Because I heard, and I think there's a video out there of a golden DeLorean. So I mean, if somebody really wanted to find that car, you can find it on the blockchain.
Yeah, so the first part of it, yeah, I've been pushing for that almost since day one that I've been part of the company, and I'm going to keep pushing. I think it'd be so cool to be able to have some sort of authentication program where someone can bring their classic DeLorean in. We can create an NFT for it. We can, rate the condition. We can, put the kilometers or miles on that, and really give people a way to bring that into the marketplace in on chain. So it's definitely something we discuss, and I just keep pushing for that. And then on your other question, yeah, I believe there's two gold DeLoreans out there, or at least original ones, and they were as part of a catalog order back in the 80s. And I don't remember which brand, or the company. It was either a department store or like a credit card rewards catalog that offered it. And yeah, there are a couple out there, and I believe they're almost in pristine condition. I don't think any of them have really been out on the roads, but yeah, it's kind of the original collector's DeLorean.
Guys, I hope it wasn't S&H green stamps. Nobody in here will even know what I'm talking about there. But these are some really great things. The tracking thing, what I had read, and again, just doing research doesn't mean I'm right, but with from what I've read on the marketplace, if you're able to, let's say you get an oil change or some type of service on your vehicle, things like that, that there was possibly some type of incentive for the owners to submit their records. And I'm thinking like Carfax, right? you have a Carfax that tells that everything was maintained. So it looks like you guys are on chain, going to be doing this basically, which, again, my brain is spinning entrepreneurs' thoughts and everything, that this could be an amazing blockchain utility to keep records and track where the cars and who they've been sold and service records and things like that. That's just bringing real world technology to the blockchain.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of what we're here to do and what we're pushing for. And that's the future that we envision for not just DeLorean, but the auto industry as a whole.
So I know Toilet's in here. The intern, been trying to. I think they just bought a reserve slot. Toilet, or intern, you're here.
Yeah, hey
You have any
guys.
questions?
Yeah, so great to be here, Evan. Great to hear your voice. Um, I was actually interested in asking this question, Evan. How many people do you think are going to purchase a time slot that are not in Web three, and maybe their first introduction to this space is by buying a time slot,
So yeah, we're calling them build slots.
build slots?
And yeah, I have the exact number, I'm not sure, but I
Yeah,
already know a bunch of people. So we've already sold the first 1,200 of them,
amazing.
and those sold out completely. And I would estimate there's at least 30-40% of those are people that haven't bought any sort of crypto before, and they're completely new to the ecosystem.
Super awesome. Yeah, I mean, what we've seen you guys
Yep.
do, we've only been here for about 3 months when we launched Toilet, but just seeing your community and obviously you guys being first to market to do this, it's never an easy thing. It kind of reminds me. I don't know if you know Mickey Malka from Ribbit Capital, but they did a stealth launch, and I think maybe like three or so months ago, and still have not basically admitted it's them behind the project. But what it did is kind of built a community. Some left, some stayed, and it just kind of built a core community. And so when they kind of do make their arrival and publicly say they're behind it, they already have a community. And what we've seen, both Dr. Ari and I, of the DeLorean community with Coach George, Arthur, Dream Media, and everything we've seen from the events you guys have done over the last few weeks. It's been incredible. And if I can ask you, was it something that you sought out DeLorean, or did they kind of seek you out to be here?
So they ended up seeking me out. Well, I mean, I should say like they put out feelers. I think they had a few people in the running for the opportunity, and yeah, ended up working well together and had a shared vision of what this could be. And so yeah, I'm very lucky that they picked me for this opportunity and to get to work with this company.
And when you kind of arrived, were you guys on Sui already, or was that a you thing?
So that was when I first started discussing with them. SUI wasn't decided on yet. There were a few different blockchains that we were speaking to and considering, and yeah, just the more. And I got to say, like I was pretty like new to SUI at that time. Like my yeah, I'd known about ETH and was familiar working in that ecosystem, and obviously Solana. And so Sui was definitely the new kid on the block at that point in
Yeah.
time. And just the more I dove into it and the more I got used to it, I was like, oh wow, like this is there's something special here. It's just seeing the communities on Sui, the team, the founders, the technology. It's just the more we looked into it, the more the choice just became so obvious to us. And yeah, I hate when I'm saying that. I'm almost like shitting on all the other
No.
blockchains out there when I say it, but I'm just one of the converted.
If you know, you know, right? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, look, same for me. I've been on obviously multiple chains and all of that, and coming in again, several months back now. It's like, well, 3 or 4 months back now. when I heard about you guys' project, to come in and see some of the things like Walrus, and with what they're doing, with the whole Mist and Labs team, where they've come from, Facebook and all that. So are used to running big projects, lots of data and things like that, and ease of use cases. Just having so many developers. I'm not a developer. I can't code anything. I have to turn my computer off and back on to get it to work. But seeing, so I do know what the world needs, or feel like I know what the world needs for crypto and blockchain to be successful. So I feel like you guys have made a good choice here, and I'm sure the Sweet team feels the same way, and I hope they're going to support and all the communities here, because having a brand name like this, DeLorean, that everybody knows in the world, to come in and launch a token on SWE. I mean, it's going to benefit everybody that's here, everybody that's in SWE. If they're buying and trading, or buying and holding, and getting opportunities to get rewards and things like that, it's just going to spill over to other projects, and it's going to spill over to people learning, just like when I came in to say, oh, wow, we've got enough space here. We've got speed here. We've got liquidity pair. We've got lending. We've got the whole 9 yards, and they're just getting started. Only 2 years since Swee's been around. So I feel like it's a great fit for Swee, a great fit for DeLorean, and a great fit for the projects that are here, that would get some of the exposure brought in, and then they get recognized. That's what happened to me. And so I hope that all of the communities continue to support each other, and to support you guys, DMC, with the launch coming up here in the next few weeks, and hopefully a very long growth. I consider it a long-term investment, not financial advice, but I just feel like, especially with even, again, I'm just thinking ahead. We've got a 50-year anniversary of a company, so there's probably going to be a party or two for that, I would guess. You've got a 40-year anniversary of the movie, so there's a lot of stuff I'm already seeing everywhere on that. I mean, it's always Michael J. Fox's birthday this week, and so it's all over the news. Maybe it's Google because I'm doing research, but I'm seeing so much stuff. And I saw, like, I actually was talking to a friend about DMC the other day, and he's like, yeah, I was looking to buy a car, and I went on, was it Motor Trends, and I saw the DeLorean article. That's exactly, so millions of people are being reached because of your brand, and it's going to benefit the whole SWE community, investors, and everybody. So I hope I'll hear more about it on Spaces from other people. I'll try to join more Spaces and talk about it, because we all want to work together, to, yes, help our grab bags, but just make blockchain a bigger, better thing for the world.
Nice. Well, yeah, well said, George, Coach George. Thank you. So I have to jump off now, but yeah, just want to thank everyone for being here and listening, and just stay tuned for when we're going to have that Spaces next week on the airdrop. We'll give a date and exact time for that very shortly. So I'm off for now, but thank you guys.